Hi guys, Shauna here. I have some things that I wanted to say starting this video out. First of all, I wanted to say thank you. Oh my God, the influx of emails and phone calls and Facebook messages that I've received about this video channel and about, from the handful of people that have purchased and read my book has been amazing. I'm getting messages from people in other countries that I have to translate to read. Thank God for that useful tool on Amazon for converting a book to a specific language. I had to go in there and make sure all my settings were set up. I'm getting channel donations now where people are, paying me even, $5 to $20 for my time for these messages because it's helping them. And I'm just overwhelmed. Wow, I had no idea how powerful this was going to be or how helpful. And I value each and every one of you, and I just wanted to say thank you, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Okay, so yesterday and also I'm getting messages, requests for these videos now. I can't obviously match one video to the topic of everybody, but and what they need or what they need to hear or what they need analyzed or discussed on a spiritual level or a healing antidote, if you will. But I can try, right? I can definitely try. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, I think. No, the day before yesterday. I don't even remember now. I ended the video with sort of abruptly because on my camera I kept seeing the time clock start over, which is kind of strange. I've never noticed that before, and I thought there was something wrong with it. It's bad enough with one. I need to get a larger memory card. It's bad enough one 25-minute video, or one half an hour video, or an hour video needs to go into multiple parts, which kind of drives me nuts. So I need to get a bigger memory card. So I wanted to start off from where I abruptly closed the session yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Anyway, and kind of keep going with that thought process. We were talking about social cognitive psychology and that the traits you begin to possess, typically in this theory of psychology, start from having heard it so many times. So if somebody says, you're a negative person so many times in your life, you start to adopt those traits into your personality. And that is what the social cognitive psychology theory is based on. So, if you hear it enough, if you hear you're sad enough, you become sad. If you hear you're, bipolar enough, you start to think you're bipolar. If you hear you're depressed, you start to think you're depressed. If you hear you're fat, you start thinking you're fat. If you hear you're smart, you start thinking you're smart. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If you hear it enough, the perspective on cognitive psychology is that your social influences impacts who you are and what you think you are, and that is the whole basis of that whole psychological, whole theory of psychology. Today, I'm going to mix it in with the trait theory of psychology and show you how it kind of overlaps, all right? So the trait theory of psychology basically are the assumptive traits of a person. So they might, we were talking about it in the last video, if they're introverted, if they're sitting in the coffee shop and they're not talking and the other person is, and the other person's going around the room and the social butterfly, but they're with somebody that's not talking, the assumption is that that person's personality trait is introverted, right? But if you take that same person, Jack and Jill, you take Jill to a party and, you get her around comfortable people and you get her, a shot of rum shata, she starts loosening up and all of a sudden she's, she comes out of her skin and she's just like this completely different person. That is, that's the trait theory psychology. However, that theory is based on sticking with where you see and how you see Jill in the coffee shop being very quiet. That is the assumption that you would make on that particular person's personality, and you stick with that, right? So the reason why these two overlap is obvious because if somebody says enough times that you are an introvert, and this goes with all topics, right? So I'm just saying that if somebody says enough time, I can't even talk. If somebody says enough times you're beautiful, you stick with that. Your trait theory is that you're beautiful. Your social cognitive theory is that you're beautiful. If somebody says enough times that you're a negative person or a pessimist, you start to believe that it's in your own traits that you're a pessimist, and so on and so forth. It could be any topic whatsoever, right? So that is the combination of the two theories, because psychology's got like all these different theories. But for the purposes of this video, I want to kind of show you the magnitude of how that would affect society and humanity as a whole, okay? Not just on an individual level, but society and humanity as a whole. And this is where it gets, kind of deep, right? So, obviously, if some assumptive traits could be from a child, looking at a child, that they have childhood sadness, maybe they're badly behaved, maybe, the assumptive trait would be they went through, they're just have behavioral problems, and then it can go even further. Maybe they're not a child anymore. Now all of a sudden we're talking race wars and violence in the street, right? We're talking about hate speech, race wars, stereotyping, labeling groups. All of this comes down to these two theories of psychology. And I'm getting to a very, very good point at the end regarding your loving relationships, your romantic relationships with people in general, and the cycle what that cycle looks like, okay? So let's talk about violent groups. We have all this like police brutality going on, and we all have all this, race war going on, especially with I'm not too informed on the subject because I don't watch TV, but I can tell you from a broad perspective, these two theories of psychology affect labels and groups, okay? So, in other words, if they say a certain race is violent, that is a stereotype. It's labeling a group, and it's coming from both the trait theory psychology and the social cognitive theory, okay? Like saying all of this one person or all of this one group is violent. All lazy people are losers. Losers are people that have no respect for others. And then the other side of that is the ego starts talking, and I must be a loser because I don't have respect for anybody, or I must not have respect for anybody because I've been called a loser so many times. And then they take on that trait into their personality. They take it into their ego, their super ego. It becomes their identity. And so you get that, right? And then here's another one. All men have no respect for women. So I need to tolerate the man that has no respect for me, or I'll be alone. Like, that's how the person would think if they believed that trait theory. if a woman believed the trait theory that, which is based on a label of a group of men, that's their label, men in this example, or stereotypes, I guess, it's the same thing. If all women believed that all men have no respect for women, then the woman that actually truly believed that would have no boundaries with respect to respect. They would have no boundaries regarding respect and the level of respect that they expect from the man. Does that make sense? Right? All right, so that is cognitive, social cognitive, and it's also trait theory. Another thing, example, people with anxiety and depression have no self-worth. So if that was generally the belief upon the group of people that are either have been or are or behave like they are depressed or have anxiety as a general personality kind of behavioristic trait, then if that person believes that they have no self-worth, then what do you know? They're going to believe that they shouldn't be respected, right? Because if you don't have any self-worth, if you don't respect yourself and you don't believe yourself to be worthy, then you're going to attract people that don't respect you. So, the thing is, when we're talking about mental health, with respect to, I'm not talking about like deep ingrained diseases like schizophrenia. I'm talking about generic, basis on the diagnosis chart for depression and anxiety. I'm talking about that. I could be talking about other stuff too, but off the top of my head, this is where I'm going with this, right? If you're talking about a group of people that are depressed and have anxiety, that tend to go on the hamster wheel of attracting people in their life that don't respect them or consider them to be lazy because they can't get out of bed because of their anxiety, which again is just the confusion in the brain. All anxiety is confusion in the brain. It's a mixture of the colors. They can't get organized. The key to that is to find the lesson in the experience that caused you the trauma in the first place, that put you in that place, that caused the explosion of organization in your brain patterns. Find the lesson in that and then organize the thoughts again. It's a complete reorganization of thoughts. All right. And if we can do that, we can pretty much holistically and mentally heal ourselves from the disorder of depression. Right. Again, I'm going to just throw this disclaimer out there. Do not get off any medicines without speaking to your doctor. Okay. Okay. Because at the end of the day, medicine affects your brain chemistry. And if you put your brain into shock by trying to get off of a medicine by yourself, you could literally die. Okay, that's your disclosure, your disclaimer. And I'm telling you, if you feel like you're ready to take this leap off the hamster wheel, you need to talk to your doctor, your psychiatrist, your therapist. You need to get permission from all of those people, guidance, and do it medically correct. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing with that stuff. All right. So having said that, that is. I just want the subscribers and the viewers of my video channel with respect to depression, because as soon as I posted the first video on depression, my Facebook blew up with messages, my cell phone blew up with messages, my email blew up with messages. I feel like because I'm intrigued with psychology anyway, although I'm not a licensed therapist. I might go after that now, just because I'm seeing some signs that I should be. With all of this attention that the videos are getting, I feel like I should be going this route with respect to my original life purpose, which is helping people heal on a spiritual level. Like I need to keep focus on my mission, my purpose. My life purpose is to help people wake up and get off their cycles. Like I have like a 12-inch tattoo or whatever on my back that says I broke the cycle with a Bible verse on it. And I got that like 5 years ago. I think that message to why I was so driven to get that tattoo on my body, wasn't just on a low level kind of thing. It was a life purpose kind of thing. So it wasn't just to make, I wasn't born to break my own cycles. I was born to help other people break theirs. And I think how much I love the tattoo just kind of exploded very recently. Like, I'm so glad I got that tattoo now. So anyway, I just wanted to, kind of discuss that a little bit further. There's so many interesting aspects of psychology. I personally love the social cognitive theory because I'm an introvert, but I have so much passion for other people and compassion for other people because I'm an empath that I feel like just drawn to help people understand the concepts behind how powerful your words are. If you speak them to someone, you better make damn sure you're not hurting them on a soul level. You better make damn sure the words that come out of your mouth are not hurting children, because that karma is going to come back to you, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere near you, to be honest with you. You really need to watch what you say to people. Even if it's your general opinion, you need to watch your stereotyping. You need to watch your labels and your grouping of people. You need to watch your gossiping. Because it really does take on, it makes people, they don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know they're doing it. This is a deep subconscious pain. It's a deep subconscious personality attribute that people will take on their whole persona. They'll change their whole persona if they hear enough times that they're ugly. They'll change their whole personality because they believe they're ugly. And then if a person has heard it enough times that they're fat, they will change their whole personality surrounding their self-image. They will start to behave, they could be a size 8 shopping in a plus store. Like, what? And wearing baggy clothes. If they've heard it enough, that's what they're going to do. Because it's a subconscious thing. People that experience things that their ego tells them on a subconscious level, project it into their own experience of life. So they really take on that belief. And I'm talking, be careful what you say to your children. Be careful what you say to other children. Be careful what you say to the mothers of children, because the fathers of children, because those people will take on the social cognitive perspective, and they will start living out exactly what they hear. And they don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know they're doing it. Those are the people that end up, in drug rehabs, in jail. They end up in jail, they end up in drug rehabs, they end up dead, they end up overdosing, they end up suicidal, they end up in a dark tunnel and they can't get out of it, they end up with no friends, they end up with no job. Like, you're tearing up somebody's life. Watch what you say. Watch what you say. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. I need to calm down for a second. But what I wanted to do is, I have my book out, and I wanted to kind of, the thing that this video lesson the thing I wanted to talk about was how this relates to the lovers, how it relates to your romantic relationships. I mean, you can clearly see it if you think about it. Like, if I think I'm fat, maybe I'm gonna attract somebody that I don't know. I guess I wouldn't attract somebody that likes skinny people if I think I'm fat. Or I don't know. Like, maybe I messed that up. So, if I think I am ugly, let's go with the big one. If I think that all people, and I'm in that group now, right? If I think this, all people with anxiety and depression have no self-worth, then I'm going to attract somebody that doesn't respect me because I don't have any self-worth. I'm going to believe that I'm not worth anything. I'm going to believe I'm not worthy. I'm going to believe that I'm not the daggone queen I am, right? I'm not going to believe. If somebody says, oh my God, you're so beautiful, I'm not going to even believe them. I'm not even going to believe them. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, yeah. Like, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not even going to believe you if you tell me I'm smart. I'm not going to believe you if you tell me I'm kind and compassionate and beautiful and sexy. And I'm not even going to believe you. Oh, well, thanks. Huh. Nice. Thank you. But I don't believe you. Like, you can say it all day long, but if I don't believe it, it's not even going to matter that you said it. You're wasting your breath. And that can translate into the kind of person you're attracting into your life, right? So, I'm kind of torn between whether or not I want to read the letter to the soul for chapter 5 in my book, which is about the lovers, or if I just want to read you the foreword. I don't know. Like, I feel like I want to read the lovers, but at the same time, I think the foreword is what I want to read. Like, I don't want to spoil the book with the letter to the soul. And one of the most interesting and intriguing topics in the world is people's love life. Like, they always, look up, especially women. A single woman will invest thousands of dollars in trying to figure out why they're still single. Like, they will. They'll figure out, they'll spend their whole daggone paycheck, forget the grocery money, forget the electric bill. They'll spend their whole daggone budget on, a coach that's going to teach them how to attract the right man. That's just what women do. Nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone. Like this whole, all men have no respect for women. Tolerate it or be alone. The woman that actually believes that they're on that cycle, they're on that hamster wheel, and they keep getting into bad relationships that end, and then that person will definitely call a spiritual life coach like myself, or they'll call, I don't know, if you get on freaking YouTube, you can search up love coach, and you'll probably get like 50 of them. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to read, because I don't want to spoil chapter 5, I'm going to read the foreword to you, okay? And this is the foreword, and I think it is on Amazon, like look inside or something. I didn't do the chapters on Amazon, like in a table of contents on this book. I did it on the first book, but not on this book, because I don't know. I think the labels on the chapters, I think there's so much about this book that should be a surprise to the person that actually spends the money on it. Because if you're going to invest in a book on yourself, people shouldn't have that information for free, right? So I kind of want to save the good stuff for the people that invest in themselves. That's all. All right, so here's my foreword to Letters. I can't even do this. Letters to the Soul. The Guide to Spiritual Awakening, which is really like a life manual kind of a thing. Okay. All right, so, forward. I have been on this spiritual journey my entire life. The constant struggle, the endless cycles of working my tail off, only to find myself right back where I started in all areas of my life. And that is including love life, right? And finances and I think the only thing in my life that's remained constant, aside from my children, is my best friends. So anyway, looking back on my life experiences, good and bad, I feel gratitude for everyone that has come into my life for a season because I've learned how to love. I learned how to love myself and love the journey. Trust in the process of the